you pay him, right? He's on PUP. He wants to get paid. If you don't pay him, what's the incentive for him coming off of PUP? He's going to get the $4 million that he's owed, whether he's on PUP or not. So the only carrot that you can dangle out there as an organization is that you're going to pay the guy. And since Jim Irsay has taken this very public stance that he's not going to pay the running back position, he's not going to pay Jonathan Taylor, what do you think the player and his agent are going to do? We're going to just sit here on PUP, nurse this ankle injury, milk it for all it's worth, and if we don't have to step foot out on the field this year and still get paid, why not do that and try to get into free agency next year? So, again, there is the aspect of wanting to help Anthony Richardson by having Jonathan Taylor on the field, but there's no guarantee that he's going to be on the field for you if you don't pay him, which is why the Colts have to make the decision. Either you're going to pay Jonathan Taylor with the market would command for his services, because now he's fully aware with you allowing him over the last week to shop his services to other teams. He knows what other teams will be willing to pay him. Either you're going to pay him something close to that or you're going to trade him. Those are your only options. But keeping him on the team and not paying him, that's an untenable situation.
He's Chris Canty. I'm Emmett Golden. This is Greeny on ESPN Radio. And coming up next, the entire league is cursing this guy's name. We'll explain why after these words from FanDuel. Snap into the action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. So visit FanDuel.com/play and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hope is here. GamblingHelplineMA.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. 21 plus and present in select states. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $50 unless specified otherwise. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia.
Let's face it, talking about life insurance is never easy. But after we watched a close friend lose her husband with no insurance, we decided that wasn't going to happen to our family.
Yeah, but shopping for life insurance can be almost as difficult as talking about it.
But then we heard about Ethos Life Insurance. They're a new kind of life insurance, built for people on a busy schedule who don't have time for unnecessary doctor's visits, fine print, or hidden fees. You know, who want to keep it simple.
I couldn't believe how easy it was. We answered a few basic questions, and within minutes, we had an estimate of what it would cost and what sort of policy made sense for us.
I never imagined a life insurance could be so affordable.
And accessible.
The peace of mind knowing that our future is secure, it just removes a lot of the fear around getting older and...
Yeah, the unexpected.
I'm glad we talked about it.
I'm glad we went with ethoslife.com.
Go to getethos.com now for your free estimate. That's getethos.com. Getethos.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. That's right, folks. Great Lakes Dragway's 2023 race season is in full swing. Come out to see our annual events like Memorial Day Weekend, Labor Day Weekend, Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, Larry's Fun Fest, and Bug Fest. Looking for something new and exciting? Come see the Night of Fire Jet Show. Want the track all to yourself? Email or call about a private track rental. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for contact information and our full season schedule. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel, ready to celebrate Labor Day week on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by Perky's Old Fashioned, a ready-to-pour bourbon or brandy mix with the alcohol already in it. Get perked up this Labor Day with an easier-than-ever Wisconsin Old Fashioned. Just add the soda of your choosing to Perky's brandy or bourbon mix and enjoy. Find your nearest Perky's location at perkyspirits.com and get 15% off Perky's merch using the code PERKY15. Happy Labor Day from 94.5 ESPN and Perky's Old Fashioned, your bartender in a bottle.
Is joint pain, soreness, and achiness getting in the way of your best life? Football legend Emmitt Smith refuses to back down to pain. That's why he's a huge advocate for QC Kinetics and their natural approach to getting you relief.
Look, we get one trip around, so I wouldn't ever let pain stop me from hanging out with my race team, traveling with my family, or golfing with my friends.
Emmitt's got it right. And QC Kinetics uses regenerative medicine to relieve that never-ending pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. And the best news, there's nothing foreign being introduced into your body. Just your own body's natural healing properties. No surgery or no downtime.
If pain's holding you back, maybe it's tennis, pickleball, running, hiking, or spending time with special people in your life, what are you waiting for? This is precious time. Get out there and get over to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
When I went looking for a place to rent, I wore a mask, but they could still see I'm black. The landlord told me
nothing available. When I went looking for an apartment, I wore a mask. Obviously, I'm Latino. They said
the place has been rented.
My wife and I were house hunting.
We wore masks, but we're Asian American. And the real estate agent said,
you won't be happy here.
If you suspect housing discrimination because of your race, file a complaint with HUD. Go to HUD.gov/fair housing. Fair housing. The law is on your side. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Spending more time at home? Don't forget that 94.5 ESPN's on your smart speaker. Just ask Alexa to open 94.5 ESPN. 94.5 ESPN on Alexa is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. ESPN Milwaukee is the official home for Catholic Memorial Crusaders football. Listen to Gabe Neitzel and Mike Podol on the call every Friday night. Catholic Memorial Football on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by R&R Insurance, Gerald Nell Inc., Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Wind Dancer Balloon Promotions, Suburban Asphalt, Perspire Sauna Studio, Home Sealed Exteriors, BC Adhesives, and Lake 5 Landscape Supply.
We are presented by Progressive Insurance, and it's time for a little, I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, what? What?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what?
So, Chris, I don't know if you've heard this, but track star Noah Lyles had a little something to say about world championships, and he took aim at the NBA.
The thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA Finals, and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
Go ahead, Chris. Wow.
Go ahead. There's a lot there, but you ain't got to try to big yourself up by tearing others down when you're the fastest man in the world. You're the fastest man in the world. You ran a 9.83 100 meters a couple of weeks ago. You are going to be one of the favorites in the Olympics in Paris in 2024. Let that be what it is, bro. You won the world championship in 100 meters. I don't think he's the fastest in the 200 meters, too. Congratulations. But you ain't got a clout chase by trying to attack the NBA. The NBA is a global game. The best players in the world come to play in the NBA. You know why? Because guys getting paid $60 million a year. If you are one of the very best basketball players in the world, the league you play in is the NBA. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the last 4 MVPs running were born on foreign soils.
Absolutely.
We haven't had an American-born MVP over the last 4 years. Think about it. Giannis won 2 in a row. You had Jokic win 1, and Embiid just won this past year. Mm-hmm. So it is a global game. Yeah, they might not have the different flags, but the best players in the world in basketball come to play in the NBA. Why would you take aim at the NBA and say, well, yeah, they just competing against other teams in the U.S. It's not the world. Stop it. Are you seeing what's going on in the World Basketball Championships, the qualifiers for the Olympics? Are you seeing what Team USA is doing? And that ain't even our best 15, bro. That's not even our best 15. You got Jalen Brunson and Jaren Jackson and Austin Reeves out there hooping. Right. That's not KD, LeBron, Giannis, AD, Joel, Jokic. That's not the. So right. I don't understand where Noah Lyles is going with this thing, but it's obvious to me that he wants to make himself feel better about the gold medal that's around his neck for what he did 2 weeks ago, and he's using the backs of the NBA players and that platform to do it.
Yeah, I knew he was on trash when he started off with, you know what hurts me most? Like, come on, bro, this can't hurt you most. You know,
right? This is what hurts you the most?
Most? Right. Of all the things going on.
This ain't even your sport, bro.
Right.
This hurts me the most.
Soon as I heard the thing that hurts me, I was like, word? Like, hey, you blessed, dog. If that's what hurts you the most in life, you are a blessed young man.
This guy's got an easy life.
Yeah, I can tell you that.
This is what hurts me the most.
Man, but you know what's even better, though? You know what's even better, though?
What's that?
The fact that we got NBA players on Twitter, I guess they call it an X now, on X and on Instagram, quote tweeting him like, yo, what are you doing? Like Kevin Durant, somebody help this brother out. Aaron Gordon, I'm smoking Buddy in the 200 meters. Draymond Green, when being smart goes wrong. Like everybody's looking at it like, this is one of those instances where everybody is laughing at you, not laughing with you. Like, I don't understand why he needed to go out on this limb and take this shot at NBA players when we all know it's the preeminent basketball league in the world.
There's only one reason he could be doing this. If he's conscious of why he is doing this, it would be to get us to talk about it. I don't know how much. We opened the show talking about the trade of a third-string quarterback. I don't know how often we open the show talking about track and field. So maybe this was his way of, hey, let me bring some, some consciousness to the track world. This ain't the way to do it, baby. Let me tell you. This ain't the way to do it.
And here's the thing. If it hurts you the most, then why are you watching the game? That's the other part. It hurts me the most when I see basketball players win a title and it says world champions. Ain't nobody forcing you to watch basketball, dog. You don't have to watch. If Noah Lyles didn't watch the NBA, Adam Silver and the rest of the NBA owners ain't going to bat an eyelash. They ain't tripping because they got a lot of sets of eyeballs. They got billions of people watching their game globally every single season. They ain't worried about Noah Lyles. So if it hurts you most, bro, then go ahead and change the channel.
I just imagine him seeing a T-shirt, like Denver Nuggets world champions, and a single tear drops out of his eye. You know what I'm saying? Because he just can't handle it. Because it hurts him the most. You know,
the thing that hurts me the most.
The thing that hurts you the most. I mean, I would think that hurting you the most would be your personal best being 9.83 in 100 meters and knowing that ain't nowhere close to the world record of 9.58 set by Usain Bolt. I would think that that's what hurts you the most.
The thing that hurts me the most.
Not NBA players saying that they're world champions.
Hey, it's Peter Burns. On Monday on ESPN Radio, a deadline is looming for one of the NFL's biggest stars. Plus, week 0 to week 1, we've got everything you need to know about college football. Join us at noon on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/play. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona, 1-888-789-7777, or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana, 1-800-522-4700, or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas, 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana, visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland, visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia, or call 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.
Yeah, they're football guys, but they don't shy away from the big topics of the day.
You make a really good argument he could have been the greatest brewer ever and played for 5 months.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
And I stole his pants. I have a pair of CC's pants at the house.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Do they fit?
Why do you have CC's
Well, they did. I'm not sure they do now, but yeah.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Cousin Subs just got better. With our newest mobile app update, we've made it easier to purchase your favorite subs and sides with Apple or Google Pay and the ability to make split payments. And that's not all. Can we get your digits? Sign up today for our new text messaging program to unlock exclusive coupons and offers at cousinsubs.com or via our app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
A cat store!
Want to go see it?
Yeah!
Let's finally bring your mom's Illinois family a true taste of Wisconsin.
Right off I-94 in Kenosha, Mars Cheese Castle is a Wisconsin landmark. Along with over 1,000 cheeses, Mars has a meat market, bakery, bar, and restaurant. Spreads, curds, sausages, Kringles. Make Mars Cheese Castle a lunch stop and enjoy the best grilled cheese or Reuben on the planet. Make today your day to go to Mars.
Yeah!
Exit 340 in Kenosha.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Labor Day sale is going on now, featuring unbeatable deals on fall essentials for your home, work, and vehicles. Like 20% off Carhartt denim pants for the family. Assorted KT designer welding helmets, $69.99. All Fram oil filters start at $5.49. $2 off Robic septic tank treatment. Plus, when your car's in the shop, get 10% off in-store purchases with $100 spent on tire and auto service. See store for details. Tires and batteries, trust and care. A Blaine's Farm and Fleet promise since 1955.
Take your career to the next level with Carroll University's Master in Business Administration program. The MBA program combines the flexibility of hybrid learning with real-world collaboration as industry leaders show you how to thrive in the field. With 3 targeted MBA tracks, expert faculty, and a reputation for business excellence, Carroll puts you in the best position to succeed. Apply now and start in the fall at carrollu.edu/MBA.
Drive safely, Wisconsin. Highway workers are out on the road. They do it to better serve you. And just like you, they want to get home safely at the end of a hard day's work. When driving, all of us have a chance to set the right example. Be patient. Put down the phone. Never text and drive. Slow down and move over if possible to give workers a little extra room. Work zone safety. It's everyone's responsibility.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
You've probably heard about employee stock ownership plans before, but what separates Fifth Third Bank from others when it comes to these plans? Fifth Third offers unmatched expertise and flexibility when creating ESOP solutions. From full and partial sales, second stage transactions, repurchase obligation financing, and seller note refinancing, ESOPs can offer tax advantages, increased liquidity, employee incentives, and overall diversification of net worth to help your company plan for the future. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
A gentle breeze blows across your face as you take a refreshing sip of water, appreciating the stillness of another morning fishing on the lake. The distant gurgle of a stream reminds you of days spent playing in the creek, the cool, clear water rushing between your toes. You love this time with nature, the feeling of putting everything on hold to connect with the world around you. Now, imagine it's all gone. No fish, no lake, no water. One of life's most vital resources, irreplaceably depleted. Time is running out to protect fresh water, and without our love, it can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our fresh water. Visit World Wildlife Fund at WWF.org.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A decision on ACC expansion expected in the coming days, and ESPN's Pete Thamels reporting there's continued momentum toward the league adding Stanford, Cal, and SMU. Sources caution to ESPN, though the situation is fluid, nothing's finalized. A decision either way, though, expected early this week. Big question in the NFL still. Where will running back Jonathan Taylor play this season? Answer to that will come soon. Colts have given Taylor a deadline of tomorrow to find a suitable trade. Indy's looking for a first-round pick or a package of picks worth similar value. Team USA rolled by Greece 109-81, improved to 2-0 at the FIBA World Cup. Austin Reeves, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. After the final pool game on Wednesday, the Americans will move on to round 2. U.S. Open, tennis's final Grand Slam of the year begins today. Coverage in 1 hour on ESPN and ESPN+.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg on ESPN Radio. Plus, you can listen and watch on the ESPN app.
If you make one of the worst trades in NFL history and nobody gets upset, was it really a bad trade? This is Greeny on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. I'm Emmett Golden alongside Chris Canty. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. Chris, we've been talking about Trey Lance being traded from the 49ers to the Cowboys for a fourth-round pick. And the one thing I'm having the hardest time getting over is why is there no smoke for John Lynch? This team traded 3 first-round picks and a third. I'm not going to leave out the third because the third is a high pick too. 3 first-rounders and a third for a guy who ultimately was your third-string quarterback, and you only got a fourth in return.
Are you saying that's the thing that hurts you the most?
That's what hurts me the most. That is what hurts me the most right there.
The thing that hurts me the most
is that John Lynch is not getting any smoke at all for this trade, Chris.
Yeah, but here's the thing. John Lynch is working at the behest of Kyle Shanahan. Remember, Kyle is the one that has control over the final 53 in San Francisco. It's one of the few organizations where the head coach has final say over the roster. So, I mean, this is not just a John Lynch decision. This is also a Kyle Shanahan decision. But what saves Kyle is that he had a guy that was the last pick in last year's draft step in and operate the offense to a T and quarterback this team to a conference championship, which makes 3 conference championship game appearances for the 49ers over the last 4 years. So when you've had that ability to have sustained success despite all of the issues that you've dealt with at quarterback, you're going to get yourself a little extra leash in the eyes of ownership. Now, it could come to a point if the 49ers get out to a slow start or if they flop this upcoming season and potentially don't get into the playoffs or have an early exit, where they might have to shoot a hostage, but it ain't going to be Kyle Shanahan losing his job. It's going to be John Lynch. So I don't think it's a scenario where them missing on Trey Lance is going to cost any of the brain trust of the 49ers, their jobs. But I do think it's going to invite a different level of scrutiny on Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy this upcoming season.
I'm in Cleveland. I cover the Browns, so I know bad draft moves when I see them. Right now, in the last few years, the Browns been fine. But you
that draft was in Cleveland too, right? The Trey Lance draft was in Cleveland.
I guess that explains it, right? I guess that explains it. Johnny Manziel, Justin Gilbert. Like I've seen some bad moves, and 9 times out of 10. Somebody got to go. When you make a move like this, usually there is a fall guy, for lack of a better term. And when you think of the assets that were given up to the Dolphins, and I believe the Dolphins flipped those for Tyreek Hill and some other players.
Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Bradley Chubb. All of those guys good at football. Right. All of those guys good at football.
And you could have got all those guys and Brock Purdy. So the fact that you blew all those assets blows my mind that everybody's just like moving on. That nobody's talking about it.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up, EG, because there's an argument to be made now that the opportunity cost is what kept the 49ers from getting over the hump and actually winning a Super Bowl. Yeah, I get it. You had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter against the Kansas City Chiefs, and then Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill happened. But if you were able to take all of those assets and use them toward improving your football team and building around the incumbent Jimmy G and having a guy like Brock Purdy as the backup, you could make the case that this team would have been better positioned over the last couple of years to win a title. But you can't cry over spilled milk, and that obviously is a sports hypothetical that we'll never be able to prove. I guess my only point in looking at it is that opportunity cost going to be the thing that keeps San Francisco from being able to win a title in this window with this core of players? And that has yet to be determined. But if this team gets off to a slow start or Brock Purdy isn't what we think he is, then the noise on that conversation is going to get louder and louder and louder.
He's Chris Canty. I'm Emmett Golden. This is Greeny on ESPN Radio. Let's hear from Bill Barnwell, the Bill Barnwell Show podcast. He was on Greeny and talked about there's a lot of pressure on Shanahan and Lynch.
And they trade up for Lance, give up an enormous haul to do it, 3 first-round picks in a deal where the Dolphins end up with Jalen Waddle, the Eagles end up with Devontae Smith, and the Cowboys, who drafted at 12, where the Niners had been, end up with Micah Parsons. The fact that they've been good helps them escape scrutiny to some extent because, the franchise isn't set back a decade by this trade. I understand why they're not getting the same criticism that you would if you for the Herschel Walker trade or something. You can understand why they made the deal, but it almost hurts more because they were so close, and now you don't know if they're ever going to get back.
Yeah, I think Shanahan probably has the coolest seat of anybody because, again, he's coached the team to, deep in the playoffs, regardless of who the quarterback has been. But, Brock Purdy, the heat might be on him because if he doesn't go out and perform like he did last year, it's going to make everybody look bad.
Yeah, that's true. But I think this is also indicative of where we are when it comes to the economics of the position in the sport, right? When it comes to quarterbacks coming into the league under the new, I say new, but it was this happened a while ago, the new wage scale that was implemented in 2011. Rookies don't come in making $80 million in guarantees on their contract. Long gone are the days of Sam Bradford and Matt Stafford and all those guys. And so when a franchise misses on a guy that's a first-round pick at that spot, you'll see them quickly pivot or transition to another option. And that's what's happening right now. It's not cost prohibitive in terms of cap dollars to move off of Trey Lance. And I think this is also one of those things that we have to keep in mind when franchises make the decision to play a quarterback sooner rather than later, because if we do miss on the guy, we'd rather know sooner rather than later so we can make a decision and get somebody in that could essentially be our face of the franchise. Think about what's going on right now in the NFL. You've got all three quarterbacks taken in the top 5 of this year's draft starting week 1.
Yeah.
So these guys in a week and a half are going to be under center for those respective teams. Like, teams are looking at it saying, hey, we're drafting this guy. We're going to play him. If he ends up being our guy, great. If he's not, we can pivot and find another player. And I think so. I think San Francisco is the example that a lot of people will hold up as to why you will want to play a guy sooner rather than later. You would play him because you find out more information about him, but you also play him in Trey Lance's case because that's really the only way he's going to get better at football.
Yeah, and being, with Trey Lance being third string on anybody's roster is not going to help him get better at football. The third string quarterback don't get a ton of reps. They do a lot of standing and watching. They warm up the arm and, individual drills and whatnot. But it's been such a lateral move for Trey Lance. He's a guy that needs to play, but he went to a place where he's not going to play, and I just don't see how that helps him.
Yeah, I mean, the injury that he suffered at the beginning of last year was just devastating for his career, right? He showed glimpses during his rookie year. We saw the arm talent. He uncorked some beautiful passes. I think he played against the Texans in the regular season in his rookie year, played well. Or at least well enough where you could see some of the natural physical gifts.
Yeah.
But you got to be out there. And the fact that he wasn't out there last year, I think it set him back, especially given how much of his high-level football career he missed. Remember, his last year at North Dakota State, the guy only played in one game. It was a showcase game because of a COVID-shortened season. So not a lot of football from Trey Lance over the last 3 or 4 years. And you're seeing that now to his detriment. To the point where he couldn't win the backup quarterback job over Sam Darnold in San Francisco. So you got to have a guy out there playing. But I think it does make it a curious move for the Dallas Cowboys, given that Jerry Jones doesn't see a role for Trey Lance in 2023. So I just, from the 49ers standpoint, they made the right decision in moving off of Trey Lance because you don't need that distraction with a young quarterback going into his first full season as the starter in Brock Purdy. But if you're the team, you recognize we got to do right by the chemistry in our locker room, and we got to get what we can get for Trey Lance, because it was a big swing and a big miss by our front office in using the draft capital that we did in order to get him.
Yeah, it was the right move to move on from him. I agree with that 1,000%, because they're too good to see what they got, right? Hey, let's throw this guy out there. Let's see what we have in him. They're way too good for that. Like, that defense is amazing. They're good enough to go to the Super Bowl almost regardless of who's at quarterback. So like I've always said they're about as quarterback proof as you could be. You know, Kyle Shanahan's like, who? Yeah, just give them to me. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. That's also another reason why I'm confused as to why he couldn't do that with Trey Lance, because he seemed to get the best out of it. I remember, again, to bring it back in Cleveland with Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer had the best season of his life in Cleveland with Kyle Shanahan, and I don't understand why he wasn't able to get that out of Trey Lance.
Yeah, if Kyle Shanahan can't fix Trey Lance, then I don't have a lot of confidence that Mike McCarthy and Brian Schottenheimer is going to do that in Dallas. I just don't. But again, I think the Trey Lance of it all is fascinating because it has implications beyond this upcoming season for the Cowboys and with Dak Prescott. But again, I don't think that the Cowboys are viewing Trey Lance in any way, shape, or form as the guy that's going to be the heir apparent if Dak proves not to be their franchise quarterback. What I do think is Trey Lance represents an option for a quarterback bridge to whatever's next after Dak Prescott if Dak flops this upcoming season and or wants more money than the Cowboys are willing to pay. So I think those are the things that folks have to keep in mind. Dak is under contract in Dallas for another year. 2024 is his final year. He's got a $60 million cap hit. I think you and I both, Emmett, agree that Dak will never play on a $60 million cap hit. It's just not going to happen. So either the Cowboys are going to give him a brand new contract extension or they're going to trade him. If they do, in fact, decide they're going to move on from Dak Prescott, they are going to get a haul for that guy, and they're going to be able to use that combination of picks to bring in another younger option at the position, and Trey Lance can be the bridge until that guy is ready. I think that's how Jerry Jones has to be viewing this. Anything other than that would be franchise malpractice.
He's Chris Canty. I'm Emmett Golden. This is Greeny on ESPN Radio, and Greeny is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. Coming up, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. We want to hear from you. Is Jerry Jones preparing for life after Dak Prescott? Should he have let Dak and McCarthy know about the trade ahead of time? This is Greeny on ESPN Radio.
The traditions.
There's no team I love more than this team. We got a national championship to chase.
The rivalries.
This is college football as good as it gets.
The drama.
Launching downfield all the way to the end zone.
The greatest story ever played. College football lives here. ESPN Radio.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay. Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
All right, team. Apps on the table by 7:30 sharp.
Jalen and his catering company have a lot on their plate.
Really particular.
He needs a bigger team to continue climbing up the food chain.
Throughout this event. Hey, Mitch, was that contract for 200 or 250 people?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
ESPN Milwaukee is the official home for Catholic Memorial Crusaders football. Listen to Gabe Neitzel and Mike Podol on the call every Friday night. Catholic Memorial Football on 94.5 ESPN is brought to you by R&R Insurance, Gerald Nell Inc., Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Wind Dancer Balloon Promotions, Suburban Asphalt, Perspire Sauna Studio, Home Sealed Exteriors, BC Adhesives, and Lake 5 Landscape Supply.
Man, this is a nice truck. Yeah, check this out. What? I changed it to remind me of my time at sea. Weren't you in the Air Force? Yeah, but I really love the ocean.
You could save and get $200 with Navy Federal Credit Union when you refinance your auto loans from another lender, leaving you with extra to spend on other things. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Credit and collateral subject to approval. Refinance loans must be at least $5,000 to be eligible for the $200. Terms and conditions apply. Learn more at NavyFederal.org.
This cardboard order, is it up to date?
Camila's recyclable coffee cup factory can no longer be considered a grande.
Redesign? It's at the printer.
She needs more designers to jump the business to a triple shot.
Client wants to see several more design options. The logo's gotta be bigger.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit ZBart.com for more information.
The preseason's now over for the Packers, ending with a 19-15 victory in the preseason finale against the Seahawks. Matt LaFleur saying Jordan Love would play, and he did, going 9-15 and a touchdown in the game. As for knowing if Love is ready to step up, LaFleur points to Love's ability to stay calm as a positive presence.
There were some moments that weren't the most fun going through when you're not producing points on offense. That can be frustrating, but I just think that's one of his makeups that makes him very special.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Greendale's Gabe Torres. The Panthers' senior wide receiver having an outstanding night in their 48-40 win over Alcorn in Week 2. In the game, Torres had 6 catches for a total of 148 yards, and to go along with it, the class of 2024 product got into the end zone 3 times. The win for Greendale was their first win of the season and a nice bounce-back victory following the season opener in which they fell 34-7 to Badger High School. Next up, Torres and the Panthers will take on Cudahy at home in a Thursday night contest.
This is going to be interesting, so pay attention.
Mountains and trees.
Ducks and hunting dogs.
Dinosaur bones.
Meteorites.
Steel that's carved like the leather stirrups on a Western saddle.
Damascus steel.
Like they make swords out of.
Carbon fiber.
Hardwood.
Manly things.
Hardwood.
You already said that.
I know. I just like the sound of it. Hardwood.
It does have a nice ring to it.
Ring? I see what you did there.
I'm sorry. I got us off track.
Kessler's has wedding bands for men.
Real men.
Made of manly things.
He wants you to wear a big, beautiful diamond so that everyone you meet will know how much he loves you.
Why not insist that he wear something equally cool?
You'll tell your grandkids about the day you went shopping for this wedding band at Kessler's when they ask,
"Where did you get such a cool ring? And what is it made of?"
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video. Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
How does it impact that? It didn't cross my mind, period, about an impact here regarding Dak.
To be honest with you, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. You've been in this league 8 years, been on this team. It's hard to say that I was surprised, to be honest with you.
Hey, tell Dak Prescott that, look, we like you, we love you, we think you're good at what you do, but we got somebody who might replace you one day. And if he does, we won't be paying him $50 million a year like we're going to probably have to pay you.
Is Jerry Jones preparing for life after Dak Prescott? This is Greeny on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app, Sirius XM, Channel 80. I'm Emmett Golden alongside Chris Canty, and we are presented by Progressive Insurance. 1-888-729-3776. That's 1-888-SAY-ESPN. We want to hear from you. Is Jerry Jones preparing for life after Dak Prescott? And should he have given Dak and McCarthy a little bit of a heads up? Let's go to Texas and talk to Carlos. Carlos, what you think?
Oh, man, no, this isn't nothing like that. This is a straight – he's a showman. He's a showman. He knows how to show off and get people talking about him, and we're doing that right now. Since he traded for him, we've been doing nothing but talking about Dak and Cowboys and what's going on over there. He traded a fourth-round pick for a first-round pick. You get him good, you get him right, you might get a second-round pick, or who knows, maybe even a first-round pick. Something crazy happens.
Hey, Carlos, we appreciate the call. That's a hell of a price to pay to just get people to talk about you. You know, I'm not giving up a fourth-round pick just so I could be the lead on Greeny. No offense. You know what I'm saying? No offense at all.
Yeah, fourth-round pick is way too valuable, man. That guy can turn into a core player. Remember, Dak Prescott, once upon a time, was a fourth-round pick. I was a fourth-round pick for the Dallas Cowboys in 2005 and played 11 years in the NFL. So fourth-round picks have a lot of value in NFL circles. And you just don't throw those away for a guy that you don't have any plan for. Now, to Los's latter point, I don't think anybody's going to give you anything more than that until they see Trey Lance do something of consequence on the field. And in order for that to happen, Dak Prescott is going to have to be unavailable, either due to injury or because the Cowboys decide to move on from him this upcoming season. So again, I don't see a world in which Trey Lance is a player that the Cowboys are going to flip for something more. I think this is somewhat of a built-in hedge for Jerry Jones against the downside of Dak Prescott potentially flopping again in the postseason or wanting more money that he's willing to pay when in their contract negotiations. Keep in mind, Dak Prescott, when he was asked about the Trey Lance trade over the weekend, was the one that said he's going to keep negotiations behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. That was his words in talking about what's going on with the whole scenario and the Cowboys trading for Trey Lance. So it's on his mind. And I don't know that it's a huge deal in terms of impacting negotiations, but the fact that it's on his mind says something too.
Yeah, Chris, you know what hurts me the most is that we're talking about a third-string quarterback more than we're talking about the fastest man in the country or in the world, right? In the world.
Thing that hurts me the most.
1-888-729-3776. Let's go to North Carolina and bring in Mordecai. Mordecai, you got something on Noah Lyles for us?
Yeah, hey guys, how you doing? Chris Canty, by the way, congratulations. Looking forward to hearing you in the early morning. And of course, Emmett, you're amazing throughout the platforms that you speak on. I really enjoy you. But in terms of Noah Lyles, I kind of feel bad for the fact that people seem to be piling on him right now. I think what he said could have probably been said a little bit more effectively. Us folks, I do a little bit of work in track and field, and the only thing that we ask for in the world of track and field is that we just get a little bit of respect. Maybe we get a little bit of coverage on these platforms that cover the other sports. So I think that's where Noah Lyles was heading. I don't think he was trying to be disrespectful to the NBA players. Nothing of the sort.
Hey, we appreciate the call. I'm there. I can dig that. You know, had he sat down and gone, hey, it'd be great if we got a little more respect. You got some of the greatest athletes on earth performing at the World Championships. And I would listen to that. And I go, you're right. The delivery, Chris, and you know this, you got to deliver a message a certain way. When you go after the NBA, which is no doubt the best basketball league in the world, that's when it becomes comical.
No doubt. And here's the thing. When we do these shows on these platforms, we just play the hits. We're talking about the things that everybody wants to hear about. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we don't cover track and field more is just a byproduct of how society views the sports as a whole. Not that we don't have an appreciation for it, but people find, football, basketball more interesting. And that's why we talk about those sports the most. Now, as far as what Noah Lyles is doing, yeah, I get it. Like, this is a guy trying to drum up some interest and build toward the 2024 Summer Games, and he realizes he can do it on the back of the NBA platform by taking a shot at the NBA players as a whole and saying that they're not really world champions because they don't compete against the world. Like, I get it. For Noah Lyles, it makes all the sense in the world, even though the rationale is nonsensical because the best players in the world play in the NBA. But what he's doing is drawing attention to himself and hopefully being able to monetize that, because we know the window of time that he has to capitalize on his athletic ability is a lot shorter than football players, basketball players, or any other major professional team sports.
All right, let's go to New Orleans and talk to Josh dropped. All right, my fault. I was going to say we had somebody that was calling NBA players soft, which I don't know. Who knows? It's not the toughest game in the world, but I'm not calling anybody soft. Emmett didn't call anybody soft. Just want to make sure everybody know that before NBA players start tweeting at me, or I have to see somebody at the arena here in Cleveland. 1-888-SAY-ESPN, 1-888-729-3776. We're talking Cowboys and the Trey Lance move. Let's go to Atlanta and talk to Maurice.
Hey, how you guys doing this morning?
Great, man. What's up?
Good. Yeah, I haven't been a Dallas Cowboy fan since Billy Thomas back in the 70s. But, Trey Lance would have been a top 10 pick anyway. So I think that was a really good pick for Dallas Cowboys. I think they can really work with him. And also, Jerry Jones, we all know how he is. He's not going to discuss everything with his staff first. He's going to let the public know and make it a big argument. Thanks for letting me share.
All right, we appreciate it. We appreciate the